Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, April 18th, 2022. It's Marathon Monday. What's the holiday that Boston uses to get off? Evacuation Day, Patriots Day, one of those days. Good morning, everybody. A quick shot today. A quick shot of strong brew. Yeah, I need to share some things with folks about Saturday's meeting. The purpose and flow. We're going to talk about the verses last night. We're going to talk about the fact that right now your boy could be down on the marathon finish line, and for various reasons I elected not to go. And thanks to Thaddeus and Michelle Calderer in a conversation with them at an event I attended on Saturday, I have a different insight, but it was too late because my passage just got given away. We're also going to talk about shootings in Boston and around the country. And so let's start sort of with the fun stuff. Last night, the verses with Mary Mary and BB and CC Winans was lit. It really, really was. I mean, I appreciate both artists, and I put a post up and I said I didn't understand how they got Mary Mary and BB and CC Winans. Like I would think Mary Mary and I don't know what other female, I don't know, Witness or I don't know, some group like that. And so it wound up being a very, very, it was just like a concert. A couple of folks put, this ain't a versus, this is a concert. But if you were to look at the catalog and say if there was a winner, let's just say Jesus was the winner. Stevie Wonder got up there and said it was a tie. And so it was definitely a good time last evening hearing from Mary Mary and BB and CC Winans. And I mean, they all sing. They all sing. BB, though, came and started off the day with violence, just talking all type of trash. But before I move on, let me go in because I have guests this week and I won't be able to do it. So let's back up a little bit and say good morning. Daryl from Tennessee, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Lasagna from wherever you're listening from. Good morning to you. Thanks for texting me and let me know you was good. I'm messing. And Mama Java is in the room saying good morning to the Java babies. Miss Jeannie is in the room. Good morning. Rachel, thank you. Patriots Day. I knew it's one of those days. Good morning to you. Sister Debbie, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Pastor Marion, good morning. Naisha, good morning. Naisha is going to be coming in soon. I got to get a date booked with her. She has a African dance event coming up. And Naisha is a dancer. Just period, just a dancer. And if you follow me on Instagram and Morley Twitter, you saw some retweets with her at the Mayor's Bloom event last week. And so Naisha is going to be coming in soon. I'll have the team reach out and set that up. And so good morning to everybody. Getting back to verses. Verses was dope. If you were to ask my opinion, Mary Mary, I mean, BB, we grew up with BB and CC, and I don't know if I guess it depends on generation and your age, because I can appreciate both. But some of the younger listeners may have not been as familiar with BB and CC Winans catalog, but it was definitely a lit night. Versus was good. Outside of the fact that YouTube decided to messed their streaming up, and I think Facebook interrupted, to which we've experienced a lot on here. But anyway, let me hurry up because we're not going to be here long today. It's a holiday. I did not say, and just have to name her. Dr. Brandy gave her the day off. We'll still stay in the tradition of Mental Health Mondays. Drop one word in the comments that talks about your mental health. So I mentioned a few minutes ago that right now I could be on the finish line at the marathon. They're not there yet, but I had the opportunity to be there. And if you all have either followed me since Java with Jimmy or over the years, I have always posted my concern in naming the inequity that when the various mayors, Mayor Menino did it, Marty Walsh did it, Kim Janey did it, and Mayor Wu just did it, is they have these press conferences where they talk about the public safety perspective for the marathon. And I get it. I get it in general. I get it post the marathon bombing. And as much as I am valid in raising the concerns about the perception and the appearance that the safety of the safety of the marathon is a priority, an event that happens once a year, it does not seem, and this just is, you heard me earlier, Menino, Walsh, Janey, Wu, a system issue. And it just concerns me that within the past 2 weeks, shootings have went up. And the other night, I learned that at a memorial, and she's been in here, you all, before, and I don't know if she'll pop in today, but if she does and sees it, Alana Farrell lost her daughter, Alyssa, in 2020, a young, I believe, 17-year-old female killed in broad daylight. They had the memorial the other night. And shortly after the memorial, anywhere I've heard 50 rounds and I heard up to 75 rounds. I've heard 4 cars. I've heard 5 cars. I heard 1 car was totaled. And not only I know for sure that a bullet entered a former coworker and friend's home, 2 or 3 inches from her headboard. And so with all of that going on, I am, and just because I don't, doesn't mean it's not happening. I am not aware of this over assertive promoting of what the city's plan is, and hear me, to work with us to address the issues of violence prevention, intervention, and in the worst case scenarios, equitable trauma response. And so with all of that being said, Thaddeus went to give me the pass the other day, and I said, Unc, in my heart of hearts, I can't go to the finish line and be celebratory. And even, let's keep it 100, it would have done the platform some good. Y'all, not y'all. We're believing that we're going to go national and things like that, and it would have been good exposure. But in my heart of hearts, I couldn't be on the finish line feeling how I feel and being aware that of which I am aware of what our community is dealing with the other 364 days a year. And Thaddeus talked with me, and as he always does, and mentioned that, James, you got to realize that a lot of the people running are running for organizations, raising money for the organizations that do some of the work to address some of the issues that you're addressing. And I tried to push back. I said, yeah, I know, but I'm just, and then Michelle Calderer, a friend that I've known for a long time, chimed in and talked about the fact of what so many community members do to raise money for their organizations by running. Understood. Definitely understood it. It changed my perspective. The other thing is I talked to Thaddeus and Michelle at the Black Unicorn Marathoners. What is that? That is a event, and I learned about it this weekend. I went to just show up and support just the event because Thaddeus invited me. He didn't tell me that he was part of the organizing, and he didn't tell me that he was part of the committee that's been a part of this. I believe, I don't want to lie, but it's been quite a few years. And I believe that the first one was 12 Black runners. And what this wonderful queen by the name of Adrian, I don't have her last name, she surprised me. She was like, oh, I know who you are on Java with Jimmy. And I'll tell you what she said to the president of the BAA later. And I went to just to support, but I got to meet her. And from an event to where they gathered with just 12 Black runners. So let me back up. The Black Unicorn Marathoners event or group is a group that supports Black runners that are coming into Boston to run the marathon. And I mean, if you hit Adrian in this organization, every advice, everything you need about hotel, where to eat, what to do, they basically create an environment and a resource space for Black and brown runners to come and get resources and be in communion with one another. And it was an awesome event. And so being at that event, seeing all, and I know Black runners, Gail, others that have run, I'm aware that Black people run, but being at that event and seeing all the Black unicorn marathoners and talking with Thaddeus and Michelle, it changed my perspective. Now, my pass was given away. And so, hold on, y'all. I'm running my mouth too much. My pass was given away within seconds of me saying no. Thaddeus was like, here, and gave it to someone else. But lesson learned. And Uncle Thaddeus is in the room. Thank you, Uncle. Y'all know he gonna make me get moisty-eyed. And so Adrian Benton, who just exudes so much energy, and she has a spirit of excellence, and she takes care of her runners. It was just an awesome experience to be there. And so Adrian Benton, shout out to you for what you're doing with these Black and brown runners that come into the community. I wound up helping out and working because I just saw there was a need, and being a former event planner, jumped in, and it was definitely dope. And then to find out after the fact that Uncle Thaddeus was a part of the planning and convening, it was just even more awesome to be a part of it. And so they had a drumming entrance with all the Black and brown runners. It was really awesome. I got to meet the first American brother, originally from Cape Verde, I believe, that ran. He told me his name, Ron Mead. Thaddeus, help me out. I forgot his name. Thaddeus said, I got another if you want to come later. Thank you, Uncle, for everything. Getting down there is interesting. Even yesterday, like trying to go get something to eat, almost in that Saturday rather, after or before I came to you, was interesting. But I really learned a lot. I enjoyed myself at that event on Saturday, and so I'm looking forward to it next year. We pray that next year is that everything is okay. And I don't know if it's typically open to the public, but you know, if you hear about it and it is, just go and see and support these Black and brown runners from all over the country, all over the world. I got to meet Benjamin. I got to meet a brother from Arkansas. I got to meet, she's going to kill me, Jatella. Oh, Jesus. Thaddeus, I hope it got it right. Gail was also there. She ran earlier. Gail was featured. I seen some flyer where Gail's name was on it. It was just an awesome event to build community. And again, Ruben, Thaddeus, wait a minute. How you on Java with Jimmy? Oh yeah, I saw your post. You said you'll be down there a little bit later. But appreciate the information. Also me that won in 2013. So thank you. That's who I was thinking of. I got to meet him, and I'll put the pictures and stuff up later. And Thaddeus, I'm sure, will put some pictures up as well. But it was just a very encouraging event. I was tired when I got home, so that means it was good as far as just the energy that was in the room. And so, Unc, thank you for the opportunity to expand my territory. And yeah, and Michelle as well, to speak with me about it. So I appreciate both of you And I saw Pastor Marion ask, where does the money go? I am not sure. However, Pastor Marion, Kevin, good morning, brother. Good to see you in the room. Stan, good morning. Stan, good morning. Since he put the coffee cup up like Sharon Cornelius, I thought I saw Sharon's name. There she is. Sharon Cornelius is in the room. So Pastor Marion, to your question, I don't know. I know it does go out to agencies because I remember, and you see posts on social media, hey, I'm running the marathon. My bib number is da-da-da-da, go donate. And so the good thing about Saturday was Thaddeus made sure I met him out in the hallway and they were rushing trying to get in. And so I didn't get to engage with the president and I believe the director, Tom and Mike. I didn't get to interact with them as much as I would have liked in my initial meeting. So we go into the gym area and Thaddeus, but I go and talk to Uncle and say, Uncle, I didn't get to talk to them like I wanted to. He was like, come on. I was like, well, not right now. Just, wait. He was like, come on. And takes me over. And he starts talking with Tom. And 2 seconds later, here comes Adrian. And she was like, oh, this is Java with Jimmy, a vibrant broadcast. And I'm sitting here like, oh, shoot. And so all of that to say, I got to talk with Tom for a couple of seconds. And he and Mike have agreed either through both, either Thaddeus with, Brother Reggie McDermott, I believe, is going to ensure that we get Tom on Java with Jimmy. And we're going to talk about the marathon. We're going to talk about maybe they're shifting during post 2013 and in the pandemic. But we're also going to talk about and hear directly from them their community investment. And so, Pastor Marion, we will hear from them sometime in the very near future. And so hopefully I answered your question. Pastor Odom is saying, good morning, James. Congratulations in honor of Bernadine Blackno Kirkland for the Midday Manna Share Your Lunch Award in appreciation of sharing Midday Manna to friends across the world in the 2-year pandemic. And so Pastor Odom got an award for in the name of Bernadine Blacknell Kirkland for Midday Manna Share Your Lunch Award in appreciation of sharing Midday Manna to friends across the world during the 2-year pandemic. Listen, congratulations to Pastor Ron and Kim Odom for getting that award. Midday Manna, Uncle Thaddeus refers to it often. Midday Manna was definitely a part of getting us through the pandemic. A lot of us started some things in the pandemic. So shout out to you, Pastors Odom, for receiving that award. And Thaddeus is saying the money goes to the org when they raise money for it. So if runners are raising money for their organization, it goes back into the organization. And then there are some that just run. And so we'll get some more information from Tom about that. Bernadine got an award from True Vine Church. Okay, so Bernadine got an award from True Vine Church. Let me go up and correct that. Sorry, Pastor Odom. And so she got that award for the Share Your Lunch Award. I believe, did I get it right now, Pastor Odom? Dina, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Listen, I'm trying to keep this a quick shot, y'all, so I can take advantage myself of the kind of down holiday because I got to catch up with some stuff. Okay. Versus marathon, Black Unicorn Marathoners. All right. I need to shift gears a little bit. And for those of you that are just listening, not familiar, a little over 4 years ago, a young man that was like a nephew, his sister's my god sister, grew up together, knew her before she was born. So I knew him before he was born. He was killed. I was away in Washington. I'm on the phone trying to navigate resources and services for my family. That did not go well. Sat in a meeting with city officials. I got to ask the questions that I needed to ask, and it hit me and dawned on me, wait a minute, I can do this, but there's a whole community that has questions and need to know from you. And so we curated this community meeting on February 10th, 2018, and we brought about 23 city officials that represent, and hear me, 23 city officials, divisions and department and staff that had anything to do with the prevention, intervention, and the worst case scenario response to trauma response. And so we did that 4 years ago. We made an impact. Before that, that little trauma card that I found out this weekend is not being given out to families impacted by violence directly from a resident. That card was created before, we need to know, the Health Commission, that champagne color blue card and things you see around the city that talks about trauma services. Carlos Enriquez, Darren Howell, Frank Farrell, Monica Cannon, and myself, we were involved with the Health Commission in developing that card. It's now a campaign around getting availability of trauma services. We also were a help and a push to ensure that these stipend trauma response residents get stipends for when they go out into the community. In that meeting, we found out that though the police are called and the ambulance is called, it's still Aunt Bessie or Uncle Joe that hears the shooting and goes down and holds the hand of the person that was shot until the police and the ambulance gets there. That's traumatizing. And usually those folks wind up being, or, you know, possibly move in the vein of leading in the community. And so how do we support them? We got those funded into 20 positions. Work with, at that time, city councilor, but now Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, through the fussing that a lot of us did, that street workers did not get clinical supervision and support for all that they handle in the community. For 1 year, at that point, there was funding available, and we secured a clinical licensed therapist for them to go and debrief with for incidents. I don't know where that is right now. The other thing that we did was trauma card, or trauma card being given to victims of homicide, even more so, the 20 positions. We helped, that meeting helped push the cadence for an additional 265,000, I believe Catherine Fine said. So all of that to say that there was success in that meeting because of a few things. One was, it was a balance between hearing from the city, what they assert, and then the city got to hear. All of those folks got to hear at one time, not from James, not from Frank, not from Thaddeus, not from Tara, not from Paula, because sometimes the powers that be can perceive leaderful people as that's just them, and they're saying that. The key advantage of 2018 were two things. One, after the city, there were introductions. They gave a 2-minute overview of their position and what they oversee. And then we spent a little bit of time where the residents went and had one-on-one conversations with these city officials. A lot of people got connected, got their case reinvigorated. They got answers that they needed. Some people now even went and they're moving more in the trauma space. The stipend program has expanded. I am disappointed to hear the fact that the young woman that had the bullet 2 inches from her headboard, the detectives are hounding her for a video, not hounding, maybe choice of words. The detectives need the materials in order to solve and find out who did the shooting, but not at one time was it said to her, hey, we know we're being aggressive about the intel, but we know this is traumatizing. And so here's the information you need in case you want to call and get services. That didn't happen. And so 4 years later, we're coming together now. Lord Jesus, I'm glad Uncle Thaddeus is on so I can behave. Thank you, wife Lisa, for the gift. Saturday's meeting is for the community to hear an update from mainly the Wu administration. I have passed on to the administration the list I have named in that email, and let me just park here. It's not a pass. It's an understanding. This is a new administration as far as the administration. Now, do we have a former at-large city councilor since 2013 who is aware of the issues, who I've met with, others have met with? and is aware and is not coming into this space as a novice, certainly well aware. However, there are people in the hall, some are new in positions in this administration, some are carryovers, some. So that is going to be stated as I'm stating here. However, the community would benefit from a more proactive awareness and engagement around changes. There are changes going on right now in positions and programming as it pertains to how we're going to handle violence prevention. We are unfortunately already behind the curve. Every April, May, myself, others, the city, what are we going to do for the summer? We've had tombstones moved. People have been shot and killed. And so the summer is too late. Back up. Saturday, Dr. Rufus Falk is going to come, introduce those that are there from the city. They're going to give a 30 second about what their department does. He's going to give an update as the director of the mayor's Office of Public Safety, budget, some of the changes, what's coming. There's a lot of changes in SOAR. And I'm hearing that SOAR may be being moved over to the Health Commission. SOAR doesn't need to go anywhere right now before the summer happens. SOAR does not need to move because they have to shift personnel. If it goes to the Health Commission, the board probably needs to vote on the accepting and the budget. I heard that it already happened, but I hope that it didn't, because new staff will need to be hired. They will need to be trained. They will need to incorporate new protocols now that they're with the Health Commission. We don't need a transition of street outreach and resources. Not now. Maybe do that in the fall after school gets back in, because we know that violence goes up when school starts. So we're going to hear about updates. Then we're going to break, and residents will be able to search out when they hear that person introduce what they do. They'll be able to have conversations with different ones. And then we're going to come back. There are a few community leaders that I'm going to ask to speak. And then we're going to allow some residents to speak about their experience. But the thing that I am adamant about is this is going to be solution driven. How do we come together, one as a community? But in this vein of we need to know how we're going to work together with the city in all of these changes that are going on. We need our voice to be sure that it's in the room. And one of the things, and y'all know, or you may not know, former HHS chief Marty Martinez and I were not the best of friends. But this man in text and in my face at the little table at Starbucks in front of City Hall told me that what they heard at one time that came back, all of these officials heard it directly from the community at one time, influenced and changed. And again, at that time, transitions that were going on around violence prevention, intervention, and in the worst case scenarios. I'm also hearing that though it's our young men that are most impacted, if you look at the numbers of those served by the trauma services, it's heavy female. There's a lot of implications there. Will brothers go in? Sisters are more than likely to go in and get therapy and whatnot. But how do we shift that? And so that's what's going to happen on Saturday. I know from whom I need to seek advice. And I just saw Diane. Diane, one of the reasons the meeting was successful because you came and typed verbatim, and we were able to take a full transcript and send it to the city. Thank you. All right, I feel a little bit of my help, Jesus, because y'all know this is an area of passion, and so Saturday, the focus is on hearing from the city around the updates, how we can get involved with them, and then the city is going to hear from the community to ensure And I got a little bit of pushback about 5 to 7 people from the city. No, the list went out, and this is who. And I'll say, because I didn't check in with I did put a post up on the Facebook. I'll go ahead and say me, that I asked to be in the room because we have a model 4 years ago that can point to the fact that it was successful. Not as successful. Why? Because we're back here again. So that's the reason. That's the flow for Saturday. I was getting ready to say, I know from whom I need to seek counsel. If I am wondering or struggling with something, I know how to pick up the phone and call those to which I have ongoing relationships and am familiar with, and mentor me, and we dialogue. Thank you so much for volunteering your opinion and suggestions, some of which will be taken under consideration and some of which will not. That's the flow. That's what's going to happen on Saturday. Okay. I just needed to put that out there and make that plain, because Diane, you was getting a phone call, and we got a little budget now, so we'll be able to help compensate you. But Diane, if you could come Saturday, that would be excellent. I'll make sure you have a setup, access to electricity, proper lighting, so you can take verbatim notes again. It's a little warm. So that is the plan. That is the flow for Saturday, 11 a.m. K's Lounge. At 11. Hold on. I haven't done a graphic for the full screen yet. So Saturday at 11 a.m. and the address is, Lord Jesus. Here we go. The address is 1125 Blue Hill Ave. I don't know what I was getting ready to say. All right. So we'll see you there Saturday at 11 a.m. Let me also say this. In a good transition, and then I'm going to get off. It's 9:35. Supposed to be a quick shot to Jesus, Lord. Where did the time go? Mask will be required. I'm hosting it, and that's what I'm implementing. The B2 is active in Massachusetts. I've been hearing the language about hospitalizations going up. And so we want to be careful. Resurrection was this weekend. We got the marathon today. We know that, unfortunately, a week and a half from now, when I get that report, numbers, we're already going into resurrection in the marathon with like over 6% of a positivity spread rate. So mask will be required, even if you're speaking. Use your outside voice. Okay. I think that's it. Speaking of mask, and I touched on this a few minutes ago, COVID is still here. I just heard this morning that they're now talking B4 and B5 variants that are popping up in different parts of the world. A few weeks ago, we heard about B2 in different parts of the world of the Deltacron, and now Massachusetts was featured on CNN as one of the red states, up over 50% in comparison to the prior week. And so, though we have more people vaccinated, let me get back to this. If you're not vaccinated, I would strongly suggest you talk to your family, your physician, talk to your physician, and talk with them about your reasons as to why you haven't got the vaccination yet. And if you're vaccinated, get boosted. And if you're my age, 50 and over, you can get your second booster. Ma, did you get your second booster? Here goes a sister in the room that's out here doing the work often and knows what I'm talking about. Talia, good to see you in the room. And Talia says she's looking forward to it. So, Talia, thank you, because I know you know. Get the vaccination, you all. Get boosted again if you're over 50. It's a novel virus, and we just don't know. We just don't know. So be very careful. And the unfortunate thing is the virus does not mutate in those that are vaccinated. And so the more we stay with high numbers of people who are not vaccinated, the more mutations we're going to have. So that's it for me today. I thought it was going to be a quick shot. It's 9:40. So I'm going to get ready to wrap up. Mama Java got her appointment next week. So yes, I am getting ready to wrap up. Lisa, there go them eyes. Hopefully to see you. Good to be seen 6 feet above ground, Jesus. Lisa, hopefully I will see you, wife, later on. That's it for me. I will own that I'm a little, when it comes to this weed, to know Tara is in the room, who is out there helping with the trauma response work as well. Unfortunately, I saw the video of the shooting the other night. I heard the screams. And it was, I text people from the administration and said, hey, I'm owning right now. With them, I said, the T word, but I said my trauma was activated. And I tell y'all often, my trauma responds in 2 ways: attack or serve. And so I'm trying to stay on the service side. Amen. Dina, if you had a vaccine and got COVID and wait 4 months before, if you had vaccine and got COVID, wait 4 months for getting the booster. Dina, I also saw something else from you. So I'll check in with you either later on or tomorrow, because if it's not an emergency, if it's emergency, text me, but I'm lying low till tomorrow because this is going to be an interesting week getting ready. All right. That is it for me, everyone. And Auntie Java's getting her shot next week. We will see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. I don't think I have a guest tomorrow. Tomorrow is Testimony Tuesday. Thank God for Tay. Keeping my life in order. Tomorrow's your Healthy Java. Dr. Jean Lambert, Jasmine Webb Irving, and Wendia, I don't remember her last name. We're going to get an update about substance use and abuse for your Healthy Java here on Java with Jimmy, sponsored by the Massachusetts General Hospital Office of Equity and Community Health. That is what's taking place tomorrow at 9 a.m. Your Healthy Java, Mass and Cass. We know that, substance abuse is definitely an issue there, but I've been hearing a buzz about like fentanyl laced marijuana, fentanyl laced pills and things. And so we're going to get an update from Dr. Lambert, Jasmine, and Wendia as well for your Healthy Java tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then on Wednesday, you guys, the very first on location at 9 a.m. Well, I got to be there earlier. We are going to NCAT, which is a program that works with people from the community to train them in the culinary arts. And so we are going to that location live. 1, so people can learn about the services offered. And 2, we can try to help get them some support. So Wednesday at 9 a.m., we are going to be on location at NCAT, talking to the executive director, talking to my good friend, Ayana Hines, who is the deputy director there. And we're going to talk to some of the chefs, We're going to talk to some of the chefs to learn about their experience. All right. And then Thursday, I don't know if you all remember a good brother by the name of Exit Fame, a rapper from Boston, powerful testimony. He's debuting his album on the 22nd. He's coming actually in studio on the 21st. And we're going to chat about his project and about his testimony. And it's going to be a whole different vibe with him sitting here. Well, he'll be on that side. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But he'll be in studio with me on Thursday. And that's it. And then Saturday, we'll be in our meeting at 11 a.m. at Kay's Oasis, 1125 Blue Hill Ave. All right. That's it for me, everyone. We will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Dr. Jean Lambert, Jasmine Webb Irving, and also Wendia. Forgive me for not remembering her last name. That will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for your Healthy Java. And I think that is it for me today. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good day. Peace.